What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I got another Piers Morgan debate coming in for you guys today, and you're going to love this one. You're going to love this one because they're trying to defend a position that they can't defend. It's making stuff up as you go, I guess. This is what they do, though. This is the left. They have no logic. They generally don't have arguments when it comes to stuff like this, because if you can't string two words together logically, then yeah, you've got a problem. You need to sit back, think about your position, and maybe bow out of the debate here because you don't have a position to argue from. There's nothing you can do or say. But these people, they try to defend Joe Biden preemptively pardoning people. That's insane to me. Preemptive pardons. Now, we've discussed this on the channel at length a couple of times. I've covered news articles talking about why and going into detail as to, but we'll get into that a little bit further. But before I get into the video, I need you guys to do me a big favor. Smash that like button for me. I know sometimes you forget. And hey, this is just a quick reminder, smash that like button if you're new around here and you like to stay up to date with debates and how you're being manipulated by the corporate press. I cover corporate press news articles, mostly political stuff. Subscribe to this channel because this is where you can get your news. Of course, I've got a bias just like everybody else, but I'm not scared to tell you, look, I bias. I lean to this certain direction. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm unbiased. It's the best journalism ever. No. It's not. It's not. I'm biased. I'm a human. I make mistakes. At least I'm going to tell you that. Unlike MSNBC, CNN, NBC, all these other places. So subscribe to this channel. I would really love to have you around. Share this video anywhere and everywhere you can. That would be great. But without any further ado, let's get into the debate.
However, the fact that Biden may be moving to give people blanket immunity against any possible crimes they committed for many years, I think is outrageous, don't you?
Piers, I think that if you're not looking at it in the context of why it's being done, then you're just ignoring reality here. The reason that Biden has to consider preemptive pardons for people like Adam Schiff and Liz Cheney is because Donald Trump is storming into office by assembling a Justice Department and folks around him in the legal community who have promised to enact Donald Trump's retribution.
But what if they've
That's
committed
why
crimes?
He's doing it.
What
Let's
if
not
they've
pretend that
committed
it's
crimes?
happening in a vacuum here.
Yeah, but Brian, what if they've committed crimes, genuinely, like Hunter? What if they have committed crimes?
If Adam Schiff has committed crimes,
Yeah.
he hasn't. There's no suggestion that he has.
How do you know?
Because how do you know that he has? I mean,
why
it's
pardon him?
ridiculous.
Why pardon him?
Why pardon him is because
why
Donald
pardon him
Trump
if he hasn't
will
committed
usher
crimes?
in, because Donald Trump's FBI director is coming into office with an enemies list. Why wouldn't you?
Oh, you're saying they're going to manufacture crimes against Schiff? Is that what you're saying? You're saying that they're going to manufacture crimes against Schiff? Does that even make sense to you?
If there were any crimes,
does that even make sense to you?
If there were any crimes against Adam Schiff, then they would have brought them up at any point unto this point, but they haven't. And so
then
Donald
why
Trump
pardon him?
knows
Then
that
why
because-
pardon him?
Yeah.
Then why pardon him? Makes no sense. Your logic is totally flawed here. Makes no sense.
It's not flawed. The reason to pardon him.
Okay, Julie, let me bring in Julie. If you can answer it, answer it.
Okay, so I'm going to interject right quick with that. Really? Like, oh, he hasn't committed crimes, though. But what if he did? He hasn't. How did we know this? We don't. That's his argument. That's his entire argument. He hasn't committed crimes. He's lied to the American people. And I know that's not a crime. However, this is what investigations are for, my guy. You investigate somebody that you suspect has committed a crime. This is what all investigations do. But these people, they're like, oh, you're coming after us? You can't. You can't do that. Oh, that's lawfare. Blah, 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 blah. You're just hearing the excuses coming out of these people's mouths. And I love it. I love to see these people squirm. Because what have they done to Donald Trump? What have they done over the past 3 years, I guess, going after Donald Trump, having to twist the law around to go after Donald Trump? He hasn't committed those crimes, right? Look at the falsifying business records. That's garbage. They had to elevate that to a felony. Well, they didn't have to, but they did. Why? Why did they do that? You got to think about that. Why? Oh, in furtherance of another crime. Well, what was that crime that he was supposedly had done to elevate this misdemeanor to a felony? Oh, we can't tell you that. That's really, You can't tell us, right? Violating his due process rights in the process. They can't tell us. And then when you get to the jury instructions, what did they do? Oh, it's a multiple choice, and the jury doesn't have to be unanimous on which one. That's what they've done to Donald Trump. Now they are squirming, and Joe Biden is like, what should I do? Donald Trump's going to go after these people, right? The knowledge that Donald Trump is going to go after them suggests that they've committed a crime, because in this country, you can't just fabricate crimes against somebody. You have to have evidence. You have to have something to go upon to go after somebody, right? This is the only reason they were able to go after Donald Trump, because he's riding that line right there, right? Falsifying business records, classified documents. That one's totally bogus, right? But they had to ask for the documents back. Oh, now he's obstructing justice. Now we can go and raid Mar-a-Lago. It's all garbage. All of it is. They know that they're having to bend the law to go after Donald Trump, and now they're scared that all the crimes that they have possibly committed, allegedly, I'll put it that way, they're scared that, oh, they're going to come after us now. Yeah, let's keep going and see if this lady has a better excuse.
I can answer that question, because Donald Trump went and meet the press yesterday and said point blank that he thinks that the January 6th committee committed crimes. What crimes? I don't know. Maybe doing their due diligence. Stop. Maybe doing their due diligence oversight.
Well, we have got that clip. Let's play. I tell you what. Let's play that, Julie. Hang on.
They have immunity.
Hang on, Julie. I want to play the clip.
So the point here. Yes.
Let me play the clip again, so we know exactly what you're talking about. We played it earlier, but we'll play it again.
This was a committee, a big deal. They lied. And what did they do? They deleted and destroyed a whole year and a half worth of testimony. Do you know that I think those people committed a major crime. Sir? And Cheney was behind it. Well, and so was Benny Thompson and everybody on that committee. For what they did, honestly, they should go to jail.
Yeah, so
I mean, look. What are you talking about? So there's no, so let's just preface this. None of that is true. Mm-hmm. None of that is true.
How do you know?
Just because he says it doesn't make it true.
How do you know? How do
I know? Because I would assume that because his
assumptions
lawyers
are a very dangerous thing when it comes to fact gathering.
Are you saying that Donald Trump's Justice Department is going to manufacture evidence of crimes, or aren't you? Because if they're not, you have no reason to pardon these people. Well, you're not really answering the question. You're going on a diatribe.
Well, you're not letting me answer. You're not letting me answer the question.
Answer, but be concise. I actually want to hear it.
Okay. Well, actually, thank you so much for telling me how to speak.
You're welcome.
I think that Donald Trump just sent a very big message to Pam Bondi as to what he expects. And he expects her to start and to Kash Patel to start investigating these people. Whether they get indicted or not, it doesn't matter. It is expensive. It is consuming. And it becomes a huge pain in the you-know-what to be investigated by the federal authorities. And that is the message that he is sending.
Like the Russian collusion.
He knows full well that there is nothing that's been destroyed, because had it been destroyed, his lawyers would have filed a motion.
Yeah, but Julie, I would say to you, hang on.
You gotta love this, right? You gotta love these people and their arguments, their logic coming in. I know it's not true based upon my own BS assumptions. Is that so? Well, I just happen to bring receipts when I do stuff like this. Check this out, y'all. I'm gonna throw it up right here. Republicans say the January 6th Congressional Committee withheld evidence. Whether it did is complicated. So this is the Los Angeles Times. Okay, this is not some right-wing publication. Okay, we went over this article. I covered this in a video I made a few days ago. As a matter of fact, they do everything they can. The Los Angeles Times tries to phrase their way around the January 6th committee destroying evidence, getting rid of evidence, as a matter of fact. They say, oh, it's complicated. They don't have to keep all of it because it's not law. It's just rules to do so. Is that so? No, that's not true. That is not true at all. They are required to keep all of the records, everything for the next Congress, just in case there's any malfeasance, any underhanded stuff going on. They can look into it, reinvestigate investigations from the other side to make sure that there's transparency. just to make sure there's transparency, to make sure that the American people are getting justice, as a matter of fact. So these people trying to say, oh, but they haven't committed crimes based upon my own assumptions is one of the most ridiculous arguments I think I've ever heard. And these people need to get the hell on out of here, right? Joe Biden, just the idea that he's going to preemptively pardon somebody is ridiculous on its face. And to me, shows that, yes, maybe we should look into this. Maybe Kash Patel and Pam Bondi should open an investigation to see how much evidence and was that pertinent information for the January 6th committee, right? For exoneration of Donald Trump in the whole January 6th stuff, right? Maybe we should look into this. But just to say, oh, well, they're not guilty, like, she makes the argument they're immune. Well, hang on, if they have broad immunity, then what's the point of the pardon here? Why would you pardon them in the first place? Why would you pardon an innocent man? It doesn't make any sense. And we've poured over this several times. You can't just fabricate crimes in this country. The fact that Joe Biden is thinking about pardoning these people shows that he doesn't trust our justice system. Why does he not trust the justice system? Because he knows that under his administration, this justice system, this so-called justice system, or, the Department of Injustice, as Donald Trump likes to call it, has been weaponized and has been going after people, right? We have political prisoners in this country as a matter of fact. This is all provable. We have political prisoners in this country. People peacefully protesting at the Capitol on January 6th were arrested, spent time in prison for obstructing an official proceeding. Really? Obstructing an official proceeding. Now, I'm not talking about the violent rioters. Anybody that was violent, there's a couple hundred of those people. Yeah, they deserve some prison time. But, there's a lot of people that the Justice Department has gone after and politically lynched these people. They are sitting in prison for no good reason, right? You could have got off with some probation, maybe a fine, maybe 6-8 months in jail. Hey, there you go. But hang on. Some of these people are serving years upon years in prison. This is the problem. There needs to be a swinging of the pendulum back in the other direction to rectify, to right the ship, to put it back on course. Because we have gotten so far off course with this Biden Justice Department that it's getting outright absurd that we're having to talk about preemptively pardoning congressional members because they're scared that Donald Trump's going to go after these people. Well, hang on. Don't you want justice in this country? Don't you want to figure out if these people committed crimes, don't you think they should be brought to justice? They shouldn't just give blanket pardoning. According to Joe Biden,
no one is above the law.
I mean, what is that? But you know what? Enough of that. I got another clip. Let's keep going, y'all.
Why wouldn't Trump do this? I mean, he's perfectly entitled to return the favor, isn't he? All's fair in love and politics.
To do what? To do what? Because we
to be equally as aggressive. To be equally as aggressive.
He has specific crimes with which he was charged. What are the specific crimes with which you want to charge Liz Cheney? That she stood up to Donald Trump?
Well, that's not the point. That's not the point. Hang on, that's not the point.
As a congressperson?
No, but Julie, the point is, we don't know. Because what is being mooted is that there are going to be blanket immunities against any crime that may have been committed, which does, I'm afraid, prompt the question, what are they hiding? Why are you so scared? Yeah. If there's literally nothing there,
well, first
if
of all,
none of them did anything wrong,
do you see Liz Cheney
why do you need blanket immunity?
Because you have a Justice Department that was just told in very clear terms by Donald Trump to the people that he's putting in there, whom he considers to be his loyalists, that he believes that these people committed crimes by investigating him. That is what they're looking into. Not that they might have smoked pot back in 1974 in college.
Why would you need a pardon for that,
Not that they might have driven drunk in 1983. For what?
Yeah, but why would you need a pardon for that? It makes no sense. So if Trump is investigating, hang on. Let me ask the question. Even if it were the case that Trump wanted to open an investigation as to whether or not there was foul play during the previous administration's investigations of him, why in the world would this require a pardon to these people? That makes no sense to me at all.
Because why would there be a requirement of a pardon? Because why do these people need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees on dealing with BS, which is part of their oversight duties to have done.
We don't know
they
if
were
it's
members
BS.
of Congress.
We haven't investigated
they have
it yet. What are you
immunity
talking
to do
about?
this.
So we just can't investigate anybody
we
because
it could be bad. It is part of their.
No, we don't know.
It is part. Listen, do you understand how it works? Have you ever worked on the Hill? Because I can tell you, they have immunity as senators and Congress people to do their oversight responsibilities. There is
I thought you just said a second ago that there's going to be hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees. Now you're backtracking on that?
Because, of course, you'll have to go, because you're going to have to go hire lawyers to be able to prove that this was part of their oversight
I thought you just said
duties.
They had immunity.
You
can't have it both ways here.
Jesus, do you understand how this works? Yeah. You have to get a lawyer to go to court to tell a judge
okay, so then,
all of this.
So they don't have
you obviously don't understand how it works. You obviously don't. I'm sorry. Do you not understand what I'm getting here specifically?
Julie,
because you're,
no, I don't understand why these people need to have a pardon because they might be investigated for potential crimes they may have committed.
Can I tell you something?
They have nothing to worry about because there were no crimes.
What are the
then
crimes?
Why do you need the pardon? It makes no sense.
No, but Brian, hang on. And don't talk at once, please. Brian, you say, what are the crimes? That's the point. We don't know, and we may never know.
You're looking for crimes because Donald Trump is looking for crimes because he doesn't like Liz Cheney and the fact that she did oversight.
He genuinely believes she's broken. He genuinely believes she's committed crimes.
Here's the point. To Julie's exact point, first of all, what crimes? Second of all, it costs money to get legal representation to go prove all of this stuff. And third of all, it's moot because all of these people have immunity anyway. You are allowed to act in your oversight capacity in Congress and the Senate to pass legislation to discuss this stuff.
You didn't care when Trump had to spend on lawyers. You didn't care about that.
But what law was broken? Yeah, you're right. They can't break the law, but there was no law that was broken. But it doesn't change the fact.
So why do you need an all-encompassing immunity if you've never broken the law?
Why do you need all-encompassing immunity if there's no laws broken?
I don't know.
Let me bring in Vinny.
You gotta love these people coming in with this smug attitude. What crimes? Destroying evidence. How about that crime? There's one right there. What else? I don't know. Maybe we investigate. Show me the person and I'll give you a crime. Hang on. Where have we heard that before? But hang on. He's not just going after them to go after them, right? If we find they destroyed evidence, right, you gotta love this. That's a crime. That is a crime coming in. You don't know how this works. She's trying to argue, oh, they have immunity. Well, if they have immunity, the Justice Department knows this. They're going to say, hey, we can't go. They have immunity for this. But then, hang on, where is...
No one is above the law.
Yes. No one is supposed to be above the law, right? According to every single left-wing pundit, every single Democrat, Republican alike. They all always say this. Nobody's above the law, right? Well, except for Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, and anybody that Joe Biden might pardon, right? The preemptive pardon is ridiculous because now you're giving them double immunity if they already supposedly have immunity, right? But that pardon goes much further because they don't know what crime, except for destroying evidence, right? Now, the destroying evidence, that might not be so much, right? Maybe a fine, blah, 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 whatever, you get it. But if they get a pardon from Joe Biden, that gives them a license to just go out and commit whatever crime they want to. This is absurd, right? Going back to the pardoning of Hunter Biden, why? Why in the world would he need to have a blanket pardon going back 11 freaking years to cover up Biden crime family crimes, as a matter of fact? Why else would he do it, right? Giving the game away. We covered this in an article. I talked about this a while back. The Burisma scandal. That's exactly why, because that just so happens to line up exactly when Hunter Biden started working for Burisma and started calling old Papa to come over and get the prosecutor that was investigating the very business that Hunter Biden was working for. They were investigating them for what? For corruption, for money laundering, and all this other malfeasance that they shouldn't have been doing that the Biden family just so happened to be involved with. Surprise, surprise. Joe Biden comes in, gets the prosecutor fired, and they drop the whole investigation. It's absurd that they would argue on the side of these criminals, They are criminals, as a matter of fact, in my opinion. They destroyed evidence. There is evidence of this. So we need an investigation. We don't need a blanket pardon from the freaking President of the United States to preemptively pardon these people. That is absurd. I don't think that's ever been done in United States history. It's one of the most absurd things. And you love, if you go back to the beginning of that clip, she says, well, these people aren't accepting it. Is that so?
Congressman, apparently the White House is discussing preemptive pardons for people who may be targeted by Trump when he gets back in office. Do you want the president to offer some kind of pardon to you? As strange as it is to ask that question, I'm just wondering what you think.
Well, you know, the president, it's his prerogative. If he offers it to me or other members of the committee, I would accept it, but it's his choice. I think the staff of the committee, who did a wonderful job, I think the witnesses, who were primarily Republicans, did a great job under oath. We were not found to have perjured themselves or anything like that. There's nothing in the record.
So there we go. Now she's been caught in 2 lies, as a matter of fact. But, you know, Benny Thompson coming in, yeah, I would accept it. Why? Why? It would make you look guilty of the exact crimes they're going to go after you for. Accepting a pardon for no reason when you haven't done anything wrong shows guilt. As a matter of fact, it shows that you have something to prove. You want to prove to everybody, oh no, I don't have nothing. There's nothing to see here, y'all. You're trying to hide something. It's absurd. Talking about, oh, well, nobody perjured themselves. Is that so? Cassidy Hutchinson lied to everybody. That January 6th committee lied to everybody, right? We don't even have to debunk the story, even though there's been several people coming out debunking that story. Just think about this. She said that Donald Trump reached around to grab the steering wheel to turn the wheel of the car to go back to, because he wanted to go to the Capitol, y'all, and join in on the riot. That's what she said. How absurd is that? But hang on there for a second, Mrs. Hutchinson, right? The Beast has a divider that divides the back where the president rides and the front where the driver is. So he would have to phase through bullet-resistant, I think plexiglass or Lexan to be factual. He would have to phase through that to be able to grab that steering wheel. And what sense does that make in the first place? You got a guy driving down the freaking road, and you're so mad you're gonna phase through some Lexan and grab the wheel and possibly get into a wreck, right? Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense coming from the President of the United States. Are you freaking kidding me? Are you kidding? Like, how did she even think that people would buy into this? But the surprising bit to all of that, some people did. The January 6th committee and everybody in attendance were just nodding their head as she was testifying. Like, are you kidding? Like, y'all are buying into this. Then MSNBC went on this diatribe of like, I can't believe a president would act like this. Yeah, you can't believe it, can you? Yeah, these people are insane, right? You gotta love this, though. Preemptive pardons and their arguments for this. Oh, they're immune. Oh, well, what crimes? That's your argument, huh? What crimes? They haven't committed any crimes. Well, how do you know? Well, I assume that they didn't commit any crimes because, none of this makes any sense. It's a indefensible position. It's untenable, if you will. You just cannot defend their positions on this. But you gotta love how they try, and that's what I'm here for, and Piers Morgan, he's toxic in a lot of ways. I ain't gonna lie. I had a commenter say that, you know who you are, and it's right. He kind of is. He loves to drum up all this toxicity, if you will. But that's what I'm here for. But I'm here mostly for the arguments, because when you get these people flustered, they start making some of the most ridiculous arguments and making a fool out of themselves. And I love taking their arguments, knocking them down a notch, and debunking them outright just to make a point, to make a video, right? I just love doing this for some reason. It's bad that it's sad, if you will, that I can't do this on a daily basis. I would love to do this for a living, just knock these arguments down left and right. But, you know, I can't. It is what it is. And I think that's all I got on this one, y'all. I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about all this down in the comment section. Is this not some of the most absurd, logical inaccuracies, I guess? Because where's the logic here? Where's your argument? Oh, my assumptions. Whoa, no, what crimes? It's just funny to watch this and watch these people flounder around trying to make up something that sounds coherent, but it makes no sense whatsoever. And that's all I got for this one, y'all. I want to thank everybody for watching. And I almost forgot. Y'all don't forget, smash that like button on your way out the door if you don't mind, unless you already smashed that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. And y'all try to have a good day. Stay legitical. Peace.